How's it going, everyone? This is Yxlarb here, and welcome to the first episode of my brand new solo series. Today's game's predecessor, Nerf N-Strike, was actually played by me on this channel a little over 3 years ago. Yeah, time flies. It absolutely does. And that series quickly went on to become, and still is, our most viewed series on the channel to this day. Today's game is the first and only sequel to that one, Nerf N-Strike Elite. Yes, it's been a long time coming. You guys have been requesting this one for a long time, and I'm super excited to get into it with you guys. Just start. Anyway, I actually want to make a little disclaimer here while we're letting all the titles here and the Wii jacket and Wii strap warnings play in the background. I'm actually going to be spending at least a few minutes talking about the Nerf gun that I'm using to play this game, why I believe it's required to have at least it, more importantly the red reveal lens that comes with it, as well as a short recap on the story from the first game. So if you're not at all interested in that and you already know all about it, feel free to skip ahead to the time that's listed on the screen right now and you'll just jump right into the walkthrough. Anyway, for everyone else, we're going to continue onward. We're going to start up with a new profile. Name ourselves Yxlarb because I'm the one playing this game, of course. There we go. Oh, almost flawless. And there you go. That's all it takes to make a profile. Pretty easy, isn't it? Anyway, the first thing I actually want to talk about is the Nerf N-Strike Switch Shot EX3, which is a real-life Nerf gun that originally came with this game upon release. Pretty good, huh? I mean, what was it? I think it was $60 at the time. $60 for a new game and for a Nerf gun. Can't really go wrong with that. Of course, once you play the game, you realize it's shorter. You might reconsider that, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about that analysis because it's now an old game. You can get it for just a few dollars. Of course, the problem comes in when you're trying to buy the Nerf gun. Now, finding a Switch Shot EX3 isn't that difficult. I mean, I found the blue one, part of the Elite series that actually came with this game. I paid a little over $20 for it, and yeah, I mean, I feel that that's kind of worth it, especially since I was able to get the red reveal lens with it. Now, some you won't be able to get that with, and I'll go ahead and talk a little bit more about that now. So, the gun itself isn't actually necessary to play this game. In fact, I'll go ahead and post some pictures of it right now on screen and show you exactly how it works. Basically, it has a firing mechanism that can be removed from the gun. So basically it won't have a barrel anymore and it won't be able to fire Nerf darts at that point. Otherwise, it's fully functioning as a Nerf gun. It's pretty cool. It was actually a really nifty idea. It's kind of like the Wii blaster that came with Link's crossbow training. If you guys have ever seen that thing, it's basically a similar system, except this doesn't utilize a nunchuck, whereas that one does. But yeah, basically you just put the Wii remote in there and it locks in nicely, and then you point at the screen, and basically the B button becomes your typical A button where you use it to do everything. As you can see, we can shoot darts at the screen. So that's how that works. Now, the thing that really makes having the gun crucial is that it has, if indeed yours has it, of course, it doesn't come with it always, because you could buy the Switch Shot separately. You know, the one that came with the game came with the red reveal lens, but it doesn't necessarily always come with it. This attachment is very important. There are a lot of moments in this game that utilize the red reveal attachment for a number of things. Revealing secret codes, which you can use on the Elite codebook to unlock weapons and whatnot. Revealing little panels that if you shoot them, they'll reveal secret areas, which provide health and ammo, which you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And most importantly, at least from a completing the story mode perspective, is shooting the corresponding numbers that are revealed in your red reveal lens in order to get a door to open. So, I mean, there will be many instances in the game where, there will be like an access, or there'll be, a keypad of some sorts, and you have to shoot, 3 or 4 numbers to basically move on, to get a door to open, to get something working so you can progress in the story. If you don't have the red reveal lens, you may be able to, basically get, I think the technology works the exact same as like one half of the traditional 3D glasses. Basically just take the red side of a pair of old 3D glasses and use that. I think that would work just fine. Of course, having it right there on the gun makes it just 10 times easier. And honestly, if you're playing this game, you're probably a Nerf fan anyway. So you either already have this gun or you wouldn't mind having it. So I'd say just go ahead and buy it. Like I said, used, you can get both the game and the gun for probably $25. I bought mine separately just because I could get it for that cheap, but it's all up to you guys, whatever you want to do. Anyway, here's actually another photo that I'm going to put on screen. This shows you exactly what the red reveal lens does. So as you can see, looking directly through the red reveal lens, because keep in mind, there is no in-game red reveal lens. It's all about what's actually on your gun, or if you have the 3D glasses. You can't play without it, and you will get stuck at those points with the keypads or whatever else. The guns, like the secret codes for the guns and the entries into the secret rooms, that's all good and fun, but it's not necessary to complete the game. However, those keypads are. So yeah, make sure that you have something that allows you to see secret messages like this. If you can see a secret message, you'll basically be able to see everything else. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. Obviously, I'm showing you this because you're not going to be able to see it in person. You're only seeing whatever's on my screen. So that's kind of why I'm showing that off. Anyway, so there you go. There's a little disclaimer regarding this game and all that. Now we're going to dive into the menu a little bit. So we got a few things here. Let's see if I can get my Wii remote to work. Play game obviously dives us into the game itself. The blasting range, we'll actually get into this later along with a lot of the things on this menu. We're not going to spend too much time on everything right now, but the blasting range is basically a test room where you can take any gun out and just shoot at things for fun, shoot at fake enemies, ones that don't actually hurt you, or maybe they can hurt you. I'm not positive. But anyway, I haven't spent too much time in the blasting range. For those who don't know, I haven't played this game anywhere near as much as I have the first one. I only played this game for the first time like a week ago. So yeah, I beat it and it didn't take very long, but I think I know enough based on my experience from the first one and the experience I've had with this one to go forward. Profile is very simple. You just go in here, you can change your profile. We've already got our profile made. Extras is literally just credits. We can talk about that later. Well, there's nothing to talk about. We'll just show it off. As you can see, there's a security camera button down here. And really all this does is just changes the background here. It's showing security cam footage of like a cave right now. And then inside like a control room type thing. And then this is just the outside of the facility in the game. So it's just a little extra thing. You can just flip between 3 backgrounds. It's not a huge deal, but anyway. We're going to go into the Elite Codebook right now to show off one thing. So as you can see here, this is the code section of the Elite Codebook. You enter codes to unlock items. And if you look right here, this says canisters. It's asking us to use the red reveal to discover the code hidden above. And then you have to use the red reveal lens, of course. And as you can see, this icon will appear anytime you can use your red reveal lens to show something on screen. So if you did it right now, it's going to show very clearly Nerf right there, Nerf. And when you see that, you go enter the code, Nerf. Okay, and there we go. Success. Item is unlocked. 10 canisters. Now canisters we'll get into here soon, but those are just an in-game currency. Now you can try using it again, but it won't work. You can only use this code once. But canisters are the currency in this game. That's one thing that makes this game drastically different from the first game. And there are a few differences, so we'll get into that. But just to go over this codebook a little more, we have the Elite, which shows you all the characters, gives you short bios, and it tells you what blasters they have. Blasters down here, that shows you which blasters you have unlocked and short bios on them. And the enemies section gives you bios on all of the enemies. And it's all pretty simple. We'll go over this stuff more in depth later on in like a bonus video after the story. For now, I really want to just sort of dive in. But before we do that, one more thing. It's time to kind of talk about, just give a brief summary about the first game's story. Now, just one little disclaimer about that. The stories don't completely line up. There is obviously a continuity in terms of characters and whatnot, but it's not very important at all to know what... it's not important that you play the first game to understand this game. You'll get it. But basically, here's just a little short summary. So basically, Shane, he's the only character you play as in the first game, is recruited by Bob, aka b.o.b, aka a rapper from Atlanta, to join a team known as the Nerf N-Strike Elite. Bob had already recruited 4 other members, which you needed to quote-unquote defeat by beating their high scores in a series of Nerf gun-related challenges. Including shooting at balls, shooting at boxes on a platform, destroying enemies, etc. After beating all 4 of those other recruits, Bob felt comfortable revealing that he was evil all along and was using Shane and the other recruits in order to fulfill his master plan, which he actually failed to completely flesh out, honestly. We never find out what his real motives are exactly, but apparently he analyzed the recruit's skills and abilities and programmed his robots to be able to handle those skills, basically know what our next moves were going to be. That was kind of what the purpose was. But his plan obviously ultimately fails as Shane and the others defeat him and leave the facility victorious. After that, an unknown and hidden figure approaches Bob and fixes him, which prompts him to state that there is a phase 2 to his plan. And there you have it. That's the story of the first installment. We're going to go ahead and get into the next game's installment after making just a few more points. Basically, we never find out what phase 2 of the plan is. This game doesn't explore that. It really focuses more on Shane and the other 4 recruits, which we'll get into here soon. And really, they're all around each other most of the time. There's a lot more dialogue. There's, more cutscenes. It's definitely a better game overall in terms of gameplay, although it plays very similarly. It's just more fun, I think, than all those little mini games they have you play in the first one. But rather than talking about it so much more, why don't we just go ahead and dive in? I know I've already done a lot of talking. Yes, here's another thing that makes this game completely different. And look, I didn't realize they actually showed you what this gun looked like. I didn't have to show you the photos. But anyway, so you can play co-op. And how co-op works, and we'll actually go over this more later, is you have both people sharing one screen. So it's not a split screen deal. You're both on one screen shooting just in a typical arcade shooter fashion. It's all on rails, so you don't have to worry about one person being ahead of the other. It's all pretty simple. But obviously, we are playing alone today. Alright guys, sorry about that cut, I just got interrupted, but I've decided I'm going to play this game on normal. I don't know it anywhere near as well as the first game, and I'm probably nowhere near as good at it as I am the first game. So I'm just going to be safe. I don't want to, die a bunch. It's no fun to watch me die. So anyway, here we are. Those of you who jumped into the story, just wanted to start the walkthrough up, welcome. For those of you who sat around and waited for me to get all my stuff out, I hope you learned something. I hope it was helpful, but let's just go ahead and dive right on in. After pointing out that you can always go to the code book right here, so you don't have to go back to the main menu. The first mission is Track Attack, and here is another major difference between this game and the first game. In the first game, you played as Shane the entire time. Here, you can play between 4 characters. You just pick one at the beginning of each mission, and then you go in, you play as that character for that entire mission. If you pick one character now, you can always switch for the next mission, don't worry. The main reason between picking each character, aside from the fact that Shane's an elite blaster specialist, Tango's a demolition specialist, Komodo's a quick draw specialist, and Raven is a long range specialist, it's all about what guns they have. I mean, if you like snipers, Raven's probably going to be your one. If you like, big heavy weapons, Tango's going to be your one. I like Shane a lot. He's a nice all-rounder, but basically that's really all it comes down to. There's no differing perspectives. The story doesn't change at all depending on who you play as. The cutscenes stay the same. The dialogue stays the same as far as I'm aware. I mean, if you guys know of any small differences, feel free to let me know, but that's basically the main reason. Unfortunately, in this mission, the first one, aside from the tutorial, which is very short and at the beginning, everyone's using the standard tram issue Semperfire RF100. Now we're going to be on a tram, so this isn't part of its name. It's just the Semperfire. And it's a pretty sick gun. And you get to have infinite ammo while using it, so it's a really good one. I think we're going to go in as Shane just because, no real reason. But basically, actually, I just want to point out one more thing. I'm sorry, I know. I just want to point out that each one has a main weapon. So the Stampede is Shane's, Tango's is the Raider, Komodo's is the Maverick, and Raven's is the Vengeance, which is just a better Maverick, so poor Komodo. The last thing I want to point out here real fast is that Jackal, the 5th character, and he's actually the 4th recruit that you go against in the first game, he's not playable, but I have a note about him and Komodo. Both of them were very foreign in the first game. Komodo had a strong Asian accent and even looked much more Asian than he does here. I don't even know if he even looks Asian anymore, at least compared to the first game. And Jackal was obviously Latino. And neither of them sound like they did at all in the first game. I'm not saying I really care. I'm just saying it's kind of sloppy to make them sound so drastically different between the two. But what are you going to do? It's Nerf, man. You're playing for the guns, right? That's the guns. So let's just go ahead and jump on in there. So we're going to have a tutorial going on. I won't talk during that. And it's very simple, so don't worry about it, all right? It'll be all good. It's very easy to get.
Hey guys, we've got a big problem. Bob's back. I was able to hack into the old elite training facility and found this secret compound. I'm already inside, but there are a ton of robots, and they have me locked down pretty good. I could really use your help. I've sent you a special scope for your blaster called the Red Reveal. Once you're on the transport, contact me and I'll give you some more details. Thanks guys, and good luck.
Now guys, I just wanted to point one thing out real fast about the elite bonuses before we move on. You can access these at any time via the pause menu, and basically these consist of all sorts of things, just little objectives you have while going through each mission. So for example, destroy 3 or more robots with 1 Goliath and dart. Go down. Blast 3 robots with 1 Spartan burst. It's impossible to get all of them each mission, and I'm pretty sure each one is just a one-time deal. Like once you unlock Hammerhead, you can no longer get it again, not even in a different mission as far as I'm aware. So yeah, that's just one thing I want to say. And everything else I'll get into here soon. I just figured this is a good time to do it because it's just a tutorial.
Transmission. Welcome to Station 4. With your red reveal scope, look at the locked door ahead of you. Notice that an icon appears on your screen. This icon appears when there is a puzzle you can solve with your red reveal scope.
Alright guys, well this is exactly how it works. So it turns out that at the very beginning of the game, this happens. Now I actually want to test something. So right now the red reveal is telling me to shoot number 3, but I'm going to shoot number 5 for fun.
Use your red reveal.
Yeah, see, it said it was wrong. It looks like in this case, the correct one is still number 3. It just moved positions. But later on, the codes to get into a certain place will change. So you're going to want to keep that in mind, alright? But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and shoot number 3 and continue on with the tutorial.
Access granted. Station 4 is a canister loading facility. These canisters house a unique energy signature capable of boosting the power of Nerf blasters. Blasting these blue canisters will allow you to purchase upgrades for your N-Strike blasters. If you look at the monitor on your right, you'll see an image of a gadfly. Look through your red reveal scope. You'll see one wing that glows brighter than all the rest. That's his weak spot. Blast that wing now, and remember to look through your red reveal scope when you see these robots in the future.
Yeah, so here's another big function of the red reveal scope. If you look through right now, you'll see, well, if you're playing along, you'll see right now that this wing glows brighter than the rest, and that's its weak point. Basically, this is something you can do in the field, although I will say I don't feel very comfortable looking through the red reveal scope while playing. Obviously, they want you playing with it like a normal gun, you know, where you're eyeing down like the iron sight or whatever, but that's just not the way I play. But just know that it is a function of the game, and we're just going to go ahead and shoot and move on.
Canister loading in progress. Preparing shuttle for transport. Canister shuttle leaving in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch.
So you're sure it was him?
Oh yeah, there's no mistaking that ball of tin. It was definitely Bob.
I don't get it. I was so sure that I finished him.
Yeah, well, he's back. And from what I can tell, the stuff we went through before was only a small fraction of what he has in the works. That's why I called the team back together, because we need to finish the job we started. I've made my way into the compound, but the bots have me locked pretty good. I could really use your help.
You mean there are even more robots? Wicked!
I got a feeling this isn't a training facility like it was last time.
Whoa! Look at those! They're huge!
We've got shiny flyers on the horizon. Shane, you need to focus and help me take those things out. Komodo, watch our backside. Tango?
Sorry, I can't hear you over this thing. Let's talk after I'm done.
Now we're jumping into the game. So real fast, we're going against gadflies here. The main thing you want to do is shoot at the main body until the wings actually reveal themselves like that. That's what you want to do. You want to wait for them to reveal themselves and then shoot them there. Otherwise, shoot at their main bodies. Now, how the Semper Fire works is we have 100 rounds basically per quote-unquote clip. It's per belt, but I'm probably going to say clip out of habit. Oh no, missiles. Watch out. They're really on their way. They're really slow. Don't worry. Just take them out when you get a chance. Just at your own pace, at your own convenience. Honestly, the gadflies are probably more of a threat going forward until the missiles get really close, just because they're constantly shooting micro darts at you. But let's go over the HUD real fast. So, as I was saying, down in the bottom left corner, we've got our ammo. We hold 100 per belt. The B button shoots. You shake to reload. Well, the B button is actually triggered by the trigger. Funnily enough, it's triggered by the trigger when you're playing with the gun itself. So it's kind of cool. Oh, hey, let me hit some rocks for no reason. Cool. Oh, that was close. I almost didn't get it. But as you can see, this gun has infinite ammo down there because the infinity sign is down there. So that's how you know. Not all guns are. That's another difference in this game. So a majority of the guns have ammo, and you will have to refill your ammo. But really, I haven't found it to be too big of a problem unless you're trying to use guns that have ammo just continuously and like never utilize your infinite ammo weapons, which would be a good idea, especially if you are running out of ammo. So that's my opinion on those. But basically, then we've got our health bar over on the left. That cutscene doesn't really mean anything. All it did was just disorient us, so that we could get hit. Yeah, the health is pretty straightforward, and then we've got our score there in the top left. Anytime we get canisters, it'll tell us at the top how many we have. 9, 10, 11 collected, 12, 13, whatever. And there's some health. If you shoot at it, you'll get +5 health each time you hit it. Now, with the Semper Fire specifically, you can reload at any time by shaking. But if you're in the middle of a fight, I wouldn't recommend taking a moment to stop and reload, because the reloading is so quick, you might as well just be shooting until the very last moment. I mean, that's obviously not the most strategic thing, or probably the smartest thing, but as you can see, as you will see, and as you've probably already seen, if you're just constantly shooting, it's not really the problem. You will see canisters going by on their own trams like this. I'd say it's a really good idea to just continuously collect them, because I will tell you, this game is so short that you'll probably be unlikely. Oh look, we got Treasure Hunter. Oh, speaking of which, I'm actually pretty sure that you can recollect those elite bonuses. I think I was wrong. I think per mission you can get them again. I was just thinking that you don't, because they'll light up like this. So now that we've gotten that one, go down. Come on. Oh, I was trying to use the D-pad. That doesn't work. You have to press this. Let's see. So Treasure Hunter, collect 20 canisters in a chapter in one playthrough. So I'm pretty sure that you will be able to get that again. Obviously, we'll be able to prove that later on if we get the opportunity. But yeah, so disregard what I said about that earlier. Ah, yes, another checkpoint. Good stuff. So there we are. Now, since I've said that, I've kind of forgotten where I was. I think I was just talking about the canisters. But, oh yes, I remember. This game is so short, you won't be able to upgrade every weapon and purchase every weapon with the number of canisters you get. So, getting as many canisters as you can really helps, because then it increases the number of options you have regarding what you upgrade or what you buy. Now, if you have the red reveal lens, you should be able to, just get a bunch of reveal codes and not have to pay a bunch for weapons. In the next episode, where we'll actually get a chance, before we go into the next mission, we'll show off kind of how much things cost and what you can expect, and what things are actually helpful, and from my experience and all of that. Now keep in mind, I have only played through this game once, so I don't have anywhere near as much experience as I do with the first game, but I think I know enough to help you guys through this. So now we're kind of dealing with the boss that's been present this whole time. Kind of a boss. Not terribly. Also, this probably doesn't need to be said, but
We're sitting ducks out here in the open. Jackal, any idea where this thing is taking us?
I tapped into the onboard nav system and vetted my location. It's designated Station 5. But with your help, I should be able to hack into their mainframe and get a better plan for shutting this whole thing down.
Somehow I doubt they're going to give us a very warm reception.
Who needs warm? I'm bringing my own heat.
alright. What I was saying is, don't shoot the Stampede one bullet at a time. That's all I want to say. Oh, actually, that's not the Stampede. Sorry, Semper Fire. Stampede is the gun that Shane's holding right there. At least I'm pretty sure. I'll check. But anyway, this tells you your high score, that you completed the chapter, and the number of canisters you have. Or maybe how many you collected. We'll actually check, because I remember we had 41, so that'll tell us. Please load. Let's just look, just to make sure, because I don't want to be embarrassed. Stampede. Okay, good. I am not embarrassed. So there we go. Yeah, there you are. That was Track Attack. The levels themselves actually aren't usually very long. There will be some longer ones, but they're not usually that bad. And that one was the most kind of Resident Evil 5. if I were to use an adjective to describe it, I mean, I'm really talking about the one chapter where you're shooting Gatling guns from turrets on the back of that Humvee, you know, in the middle of the game before you fight the El Gigante-esque boss. But yeah, and actually during that boss, now that I think of it. But anyway, that's enough talk about Resident Evil 5. That's actually the first chapter, guys. Yeah, so as you can see, it's not going to be that difficult. We're going to be able to make it through just fine, I think. What I'm trying to see right now is actually how many canisters we have. So let's actually just go in here real fast and just take a look. We're going to look at the upgrade blaster screen. So 41. Okay, so that just shows you exactly how many canisters you got during the mission, not how many you have total. And that makes a lot of sense. But obviously, guys, we have a lot more to talk about in this game. There's still more differences between it and the first game, especially the upgrading / purchasing weapons feature, which, of course, we will get into in the next episode. I've already spent a lot of time this episode explaining everything. But as you guys know, I like to lay down a solid groundwork, you know, a solid framework before just diving into something. It's much easier than trying to explain everything on the fly. I mean, especially as you saw, that first mission was just so intense, I guess. I mean, on normal mode, it's not terribly difficult, but on elite mode, which I actually tried just that first mission, I actually died, you know, during my practice run, like halfway through. I was like, wow, that was tough. But it's just so intense. You got things firing at you constantly. There's a lot of dialogue going on. There's the tutorial, which I already had to interrupt a couple of times. That's bad enough. Could you imagine saying everything I said at the beginning of this video during the gameplay? I really don't think that would have been great. So, at least this way you guys got the option. You can just dive right in, or you can listen to what I've got to say, like you're choosing to do right now. Anyway, I'll stop talking your guys' ears off. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm really excited about playing this game. I have been looking forward to it for months. I actually bought the game months ago, even though I only played it just last week. And you guys are actually going to see this in, I don't know, probably a week from now or so, from when I'm recording this. So I really hope you're excited about it. And I also hope you're excited for our next collaboration series, which is starting in just a few days from now, Minecraft Season 2. So yeah, you guys have got some good stuff coming to you this summer. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next episode. Have a great rest of your day.